till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up? What up? What's up? Welcome into Pregaming here at Sports Money, Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. You know where it's at. We're here. It's going to be time to get the business. We got a huge card. Equinox, how many times have you heard that today? I've heard it quite a bit. And I get it. I'm excited for it. We've got NHL action. We've got NBA action. We've got college football action. We've got the World Series in play tonight as well. And looks across the board. It's Fired Up Friday. We got all kinds of action out there, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun going through it. We'll go Islanders, Devils. We'll go Nashville, Chicago, Pittsburgh, and Edmonton for a 3-pack in the NHL. We got a 3-pack in the NBA with the Sixers and the Raptors, the Bulls and the Bucks, the Memphis Grizz, the Houston Rockets. We'll take you to BC and Louisville for a little battle out there between ACC foes. The UNLV Boise Mountain West rematch. Big game out there at the 10 o'clock hour East Coast time. And of course, how can we not take a look at this Yankees series with the LA Dodgers? Man, if you're a tinfoil hat conspiracist, you got the two biggest markets in the world from a television perspective going head to head. It's going to be a lot of miles on them planes, but it's going to be a lot of fun. That's an 8 p.m. start over there on Fox. And it's only right. We get some red meat. It's Red Meat Friday. We're going to get a ribeye in that game. Why not? We only got a couple baseball games left to finish off ribeye season, and I'm looking forward to it. So we got to get to work. You guys know the deal. Hit that thumbs up button. Show the support. Yesterday, not a bad day yesterday. Man, nailed that. Listen, there were some great trends shot out there yesterday. The NFL. Game after you play the Detroit Lions, you lose. Make sure you write that one down. That will be in play going forward until further notice. How about the after Vegas unders? You win. And I believe that one is now 44-12, something like that. I'll have to get the number. 44-12, I believe, is the home team. First game back after Las Vegas is an under spot in the NHL. Florida Panthers on Thursdays in the NHL, back in play. Those are under spots. Took a nice live bet last night, under 6.5 when they had that explosion of goals. And it was plus 125. And it scored right away. I'm like, oh man, they shot the number up to 7.5, but it still came in under. What else? What other trends out there? How about the Seattle Kraken? When they're at home against a playoff team, they lose. There's another one you guys want to remember there. I think that's 13 or 14 in a row in those spots. And what else? What else did we learn from yesterday? Well, we lost a parlay. We lost our 5-leg plus 780 parlay. Never got out of the gate. Panarin never got the point. There was only one goal scored in that Rangers game, and that led to a loss in the New York Rangers regulation spot at minus 105. We took that out. But we grabbed this W in hindsight. Hindsight's always 20/20. They busted them up. 5-1. Avalanche kicked the shit out of that Utah Hockey Club. Teams moving in different directions. We talked about it. Nailed that thing like the split. Oh, I don't know where that saying came from, but it seems Southern to me. It seems like a Southern saying. I don't know why. No offense to any of my friends down south. Tell me where that thing originated. There's that Jets and Kraken spot. Now, this was sweaty. 4-3 final in overtime. Sweating, but cash. And then, of course, that Kings under 6 got us. Syracuse got me. What to make of that team? Pittsburgh, Syracuse. They just were flat. And I remember criticizing, constructively criticizing There's no way they lose 51-14 or 51-17. I forgot what the number was. And sure enough, 41-13, they got busted up, dragged out of that thing. It was ugly. It was as ugly as it gets. It was so ugly. I'm used to watching some bad Syracuse football games. I turned it off after the second quarter, and I never looked back at it. They were just busted up. Let's see what else. Oh, I never gave that one out. That was a cut for me, but it cashed. We lost on that Spurs +9. We did cash on the OKC +2.5, and I mentioned the Rams spot as well. So, all in all, another successful day. And we're going to roll into play today here. A big card with the sports equinox. And get ready. Get yourselves ready because the UFC starts early tomorrow. So Ramon Scott's going early tomorrow. He'll be giving you guys the morning steam, and then probably around 9:50 we'll be launching, maybe 9:45. We'll launch into the UFC big card over there in Abu Dhabi. Make sure you guys check out First Strike. There are 4 plays out there already set up for you guys to go feast before those lines move for tomorrow morning. Maybe you plan to sleep in. That's okay. Pop us on the tablet, put it on the nightstand, and keep your eyes closed. We'll give you guys the details. Don't worry about that, but get those 4 fights in early. Got the NFL prop shop tonight with my guy Spenny Penny Bombs. He's back in action with us, ready to attack some NFL player props and a parlay for you guys to get paid on Sunday. Got to get the college football underway here tonight for tomorrow. Lots to do. You guys know the deal. There's never enough time. So get yourselves ready on the way in here. If you haven't done so already, smash that thumbs up button. It does really help a ton. I mentioned this the other day. It lets them know we're here. It recommends us through the YouTube search. It gets new eyeballs in the equation, potential new members to gift you guys memberships as well. So close that comment box, hit that thumbs up button, and then pop the comment box open. You know the deal. Let's go. And of course, make sure you do follow us at Sports Money Wins on X. I know we talked about this before. Notifications can be a little bit delayed with YouTube, but not with X. Those things are firing, so get your notifications turned on at Sports Money Wins. You're not going to want to miss out this content. When we get that consensus report out there for college football, great tool. I hope you guys are using that thing. Definitely has improved my win percentage via the weekend by just helping me kind of with another layer, another tool to use to scrub the card down and narrow in that focus on who's going to cash for us and get us paid. And it's out there for you guys on that community tab with Sports Money. So make sure you do just that. And of course, get the pen and paper ready. The best in the business, they line up here at 6 p.m. They've been looking at the card all day. They've got trends, they've got angles, they've got injury updates for you guys. You're going to want to write them down and take them home with you so that Saturday and Sunday you can still cash with some of these spots that get dropped out there. Of course, you guys are the best in the business. Make sure you do drop it out here. Let's get it on there on the screen. We want to recognize all the plays you guys are dealing with out there. And shout out to our guy, Old E. He gifted 5 Sports Money memberships. That's my brother right there, man. He is firing with us. He's growing with us. He's here on the regular. He's giving you guys best bets. And he's helping grow this community, sharing his hard-earned cash, gifting Sports Money memberships. Fired up, man. Fired up to see guys like that coming in here. Old E been rocking with us from the hop. Believes in what we're doing. We believe in what he's doing. We're all working together to find ways to cook the books, and it's rewarding when I see those types of things, Old E, my guy. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for kicking our card off and blessing our action. We'll leave it on the screen as we get to the card, boys and girls. Commenter numero uno is Joe T. Not sure if he's back from Vegas or not. But I know he was out there rocking. Getting excited. He was putting some player prop parlays together. Good stuff, my guy. I hope you had a blast out there. He's got the Yankees and Dodgers over 8.5, -120. They lost last night, but the goddamn best team in the NFL won. Man, that over looked like it was going to scream over the total last night. And, it's funny because we were talking on the live show and I said, the price I'm looking for, like, you always want to think about a strike price, right? Like, where are you looking to hammer? And I was like, probably 58.5. And then it got there like a minute later, and I was like, maybe I better wait. And it got up to 60.5. But I think I finally did fire at 58.5. And it was cruise control, man. Cruise control. Dogs. Teased with the unders. I don't know. We'll talk more about the NFL and football as we get rolling here. Shout out to NJ Striker, Nicholas Handy. There's my guy Joe's in the house. He's ready to roll. Nasty Nate got the Clovers in play. Celtic smash spots all over the card for our guy Nasty Nate, a.k.a. the mechanic, a.k.a. the wrench. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button because you don't want him swinging that wrench at you. That's for sure. David Wallace ready to rock. Keith, he's in the house. What a lot of fun we had last night, Keith. It was awesome, man. We had Ramon on screen. It was fun. I say that like it's full. He's on screen every day. I just got to be on screen with him is what I guess I meant to say about that. I love Ramon, man. He's good shit. He's good energy. He's got great prop bet. He's got just a good dude all around. So happy to have him rocking with us at Sports Money. On that heat says no CFL on your list. No, not for me. Not for me. There was too much involved out there. Maybe somebody's got to play in the chat. I didn't look at it at all. If I gave you a look right now, it would be just knowing that the number was 3 earlier today. I see 3 right now. I don't want to give you a look. I give you a look. I lean to the Ticats. Home teams have just been so damn dominant in Canadian Football League. It's hard for me. That 3 is a suspect number, and I don't know that Hamilton's that much better, but I didn't really look at it. In fact, this is the first I'm looking at it. So I did look at the number earlier. Kind of use that as a little pivot point. But I didn't take into it too deep, my guy, on that heat. My bad. Maybe somebody in the chat can come through for us out there. Keith says, I parlayed the Avalanche and the Jets last night. Thanks, Mike. Hell yeah, man. I parlayed, what did I parlay there? The Jets and the under in that Vegas game. That was a nice little casher on screen for us. Justin McKelvey says, sports money is money. There's my dude kicking us off in the right direction. Talk sports with JT's rocking out there. He's got a card for us here. Halliburton over 18.5 points. Capella over 9.5 rebounds. Oubre over 19.5 points. And Wagner over 19.5 points. I like the Clint Capella double-double. I was looking at that earlier today. I didn't officially pull the trigger on it. Talk sports with JT. College football action. He's got Notre Dame Navy under 51. Okay. Oldies giving the shout out to the D-Gens. Stop Geo Engineering says TGIF and good luck on them bets, y'all. There we go. Oh, I'm just thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. British Columbia, BC. I was thinking Canadian football. He likes BC plus 7.5. MMA boss sports money's in the house. Oldie says won't be here long. Big archery hunt next week. I'm cutting my toothbrush in half for weight, but sports money is money. And he gifted the 5 memberships for my dude Oldie, man. Guy just coming in to drop some blessings of good joy on us here. Jay Peasy's in the house. Says, what up? Motherfuckers, let's go. Chris Sala's in the house. Let's go hit that like button. Of course, you guys. Let's get after it. Nasty Nate. Giving a little lip service. Oldie says, at JPZ, work killing my handicap. But life will do that. It does that. It does that from time. Lewis Eisenhower got the safety dance. We were safety dancing last night. It was fun. It was a fun show. And we got a goal in the Senators game. Ramon says, goal, Senators, watching my first ever Knights game on a digital antenna. Wow. Well, you don't like to see that if you're thinking Vegas. That's for sure. I expected goals to be flying in that game. That's what I was looking at there. Let's see. Shout out to Ramon Scott. Stop deal. 2-leg parlay. Fanatics. He's got the Pelicanos money line and the over in that UNLV. Every time I try to use this bullshit DraftKings fucking location settings. I haven't moved my computer all day. You were good 15 minutes ago. Now you're not good. Huh. Stop Theo says Pels facing, in my opinion, the worst team in the league, Trailblazers. Zion back tonight. Boise and UNLV looking like a shootout. No D to stop either team. Agreed, Voodoo Ranger. Let's go. I'm that Heat says, all good. I got the Ticats plus 2.5 with my local Elks money line plus 3. Okay. Joseph Alvarado's rocking with us. And Stop Geo's also hopping on the Minnesota Wild money line for tomorrow, minus 125. I'll tell you what, you're not going to want to miss out tomorrow. That's for sure. I got 6 hockey plays already popping with undefeated trends in their favor. You're going to have to see who the goaltenders are. We'll be giving those out. We'll be giving out a full board of college football. We'll be giving out all our UFC action. You already know you don't want to miss that. And shout out to Redbeard, gifting a sports money membership. My dude. Appreciate you, Redbeard. You're a real one. You're here on the regular with us. Appreciate all you guys rocking, especially when you guys take the time to dig into the wallet and help grow our community. Oh, I don't like hearing myself on camera, but I was looking to see who's getting these memberships out there. Glenn Babicky gets the gifted membership from Redbeard. Welcome on board. Jeff was gifted a membership by Old E. Rob McMahon gets a membership from Old E. The Fix is in. Gets a membership from Old E. Tom McIntyre gets a membership from Old E. And Trap God catches a membership from Old E as well. Exciting stuff, you guys. All good. Let's go. Let's get to work. Make some money. Keep a brisk pace. Got things to do tonight. Got things to prep for tomorrow. Big early show tomorrow. I woke up this morning and I was like, fuck, it's UFC time. I was like, wait a minute, it's only Friday. So I was happy to have that extra day built in there. But shout out to you, Redbeard. Appreciate you gifting, growing our community, my friend. Thank you very much. Let's get to work. How about we do that? Fleet Mathis says, can't wait for the Saturday stream. Me either. Fired up to spend some time with the fellas. Over under on when we start cocktail. Here we go. CFL pick from Ramon. Ask and the man delivers. Consummate professional. Capping, grinding, every single day, all day. It's fun. It's fun, isn't it, Ramon? Some days are more fun than others, I'm sure. Toronto and Edmonton, he's got the over 49. He's giving a little over action, which won't be the word I use when I describe the NHL in these plays that we've got here tonight. So let's get to the business of getting to business. We got the Islanders and the Devils popping off. Big game coming up here for these two teams. Obviously, we saw last night. Bad situation for them Devils. They caught up. I felt great, man. I was that asshole celebrating. They tie up the game. I got a plus 350 money line. I'm like, now let me go in and get it again at minus 120. It was minus 180 before the game started. They got busted up. Terrible situation out there. Lost that game. And tonight, as far as goaltending is concerned, they're going to Ilya Sorokin on the Islander side and Jake Allen for the New Jersey Devils. Tricky spot. Sorokin's playing phenomenal right now. He's 1-1-1, but he's got a 1.33 goals against average, 94.7% save percentage. Now, Patrick Waugh on the bench, potentially the goalie whisperer, does like the cocktail, or at least like the cocktail excessively. People told him he had to settle it down. And that 94.7% save percentage is phenomenal. The challenge going on right now for this team in the Islanders, only 14 goals this season is good enough to be worst in the NHL. Surprise. They're 500 across the board. 2-2-2. 1-1-1 again the road. I mean, they're literally split down the middle. They just can't score. They're not able to get the puck in the net. Jake Allen on the other side of things might be the answer to slump bust this offense for this New York Islanders team. He's a piece of shit. He's 2-1, but he's got a 4.5 goals against average with an 88% save percentage. Now we'll see how these guys swell, how their performance starts to rebound. But the Devils, 33 goals allowed, is second most in the league. We know this is the second leg of the back-to-back spot for them Devils. Bad loss last night. Do they bounce back? I don't know. I know this line got steamed towards the New York Islanders. That I don't know if I necessarily agree with. Why would you steam a team that can't score? I mean, to that degree. Now, maybe it's price buying. Maybe that's why we see that these numbers are kind of in the position that they are, but they do have a rested situation. They are coming in off a shutout as well. Go figure. 2-1-0. In fact, how about this? Every other game for the Islanders in their last 5 has been a shutout. They've gotten shut out. They got shut out by Dallas 3-0. They got shut out by St. Louis 1-0. They got shut out by Detroit 1-0 as well. And that's good enough for me not to want to get in on the side, but I'm going to go totaling. We're going to go total hunting here. The anti-Joe T's war on the over or on the under. I'm taking a war on the over. I'm going to the Islanders. I'm taking the under 6.5. Big reason for me, first of all, foremost, the aforementioned can't score, right? We'll get that one right out of the equation. But when we have a situation of teams in certain spots in line parameters between 100 and 180 early in the season, when they can't score against teams that do score, well, somehow they don't score prevails. It's 81 and 133 in favor of the under. Simple spot. Total points scored on one team, less than total points scored on the other team. And early in the season, when there's a pretty good value on this number, as long as they're not in that favorite role, them Islanders, then it's a play on. It's a play fire away situation for them. And the under 6.5 right now, because we still see plus 105s, plus 102s, plus 106s, very much a trigger that's still in place for this Islanders team. It's good enough for me to open it up here. Stay scoring, stay low scoring, boys. Tired legs, though. The second end of the back-to-back for this New Jersey Devils team does kind of give me a little pause for concern that maybe the Islanders, with that rest, should come in and fire, but I think we see a lower scoring goal. You know, last year we knew New Jersey was like the over capital, and well, they're not playing well defensively right now, and their goaltending is suspect. So they do lead to several team total overs for the other team. But can you do that with this Islanders team? Not me, not tonight, not for us, not how we're going to open up this card. Going to be a lot of fun. Oldie says, member for 2 months. Ramon's got it. Can't jump in the chat as much as I'd like in the morning steam, but better believe I always listen. Can't miss breakdowns every day. Those are the things you love to hear, right? Flip us on. Put the earbuds in, ignore the boss, put your out of office on your email, and go out there and listen to Ramon Scott. Why the hell not? Let's go. Shout out to you, Oldie, man. Just a good dude. Good vibes, man. Good vibes rolling into this thing. Let's go. Let's keep this pace moving. Lot to do tonight, so let's get right to business here. Game number 2 we're looking at here. Small NHL card left, right? There's only 3 games, so we do have action in all 3 of them. We have the Predators at 1-5. Who thought they would have opened their season with those big offseason acquisitions at 1-5? Now, clearly, it's taken them some time to gel. Stamkos, Marcia Schultz, there's some big moves. They got Roman Josi on there at the defensive side as well. This is bad news for the Chicago Blackhawks team. They're still 2 years away from being 2 years away, in my opinion, with Connor Bedard. This will be the question I ask. I asked it about McDavid. Does McDavid win a cup with Edmonton or any other team? Meaning, you know, Edmonton's not going to get there for him, and he's going to end up going on the free agency and go cup hunting. Does Connor Bedard win a cup with the Blackhawks or any other team? Hard to trade number 1 picks away, but if they go 7, 8, 9 years deep, they want the hell out of there so they can go try to win that Stanley Cup, Ray Bourque style. But as we look at this one here, still working on goalie confirmation. This one didn't have, let me hit refresh. Let me refresh here. Do you see Saros? Unconfirmed for the Predator side of things. Good old Pete Mrazek's going to go out there for the Chicago Blackhawks, 2-3 on his season. He's got a 4.05 goals against average and an 88.7% save percentage. Interesting spot out there. Predators finally get their first win on Tuesday. That's how they get to 1-5. Now, I don't know that that's good enough to get the, get the proverbial monkey off the back here. 1-4 is Saros on the season. He's got a 2.89 goals against average, 90.3% save percentage. But, Mrazek, first 4 games, 2-2. His last game was the bad spot. This is what bloated his numbers here and where I'm looking to see him bounce back here. 6 goals on 30 shots for an 80% save percentage against the Vancouver Canucks with a 6-3 defeat out there. But we've got another spot. Teams can't score. The Blackhawks have been outscored 10-5 in their last 2 games. Now they're letting up goals, and they're finding 2.5, but they're not a team total over that you can bank on out there. I think that the fact that we've got a little momentum coming into this one for this Predators team felt good enough for me. Now, both teams have equal rest coming in here, so they haven't played in a couple of days since the Frozen Frenzy, and that was a big win for them Predators. So I expect them to come in fired up. I expect them to hang on. Big thing though, home dogs off and over, bounce back or regress to the under. It's 14-3 in favor of the under in those spots. Home dogs off and over. They're also 5-14 in those spots straight up, by the way. So Nashville coming into this thing, the -1.5 caught my eye. I thought long and hard about the -1.5. It's plus 150. I thought, man, that's a spot out there, but I kind of feel like the Blackhawks might be one of those teams this year that's just too stupid to know they should just roll over and try to get another good draft pick. But the under 6 at -108 is in play for my card on this one as well. Best situation. Buying low or selling high in this case here. Team coming off that over goes to the under that following game. Only 3 games on the card, so we had to be selective in how we want to try to get paid, but 2 unders. I love that spot too. You think about it. Public loves overs. Friday's payday. Everyone's got a flush bank account. They're going to go out there and start banging away on overs. Why not? It's the NHL. Well, not on Fridays. Fridays are bookie busters out there, or bankroll busters ultimately. And I think Nashville can find a way to get that thing done for us. So let's go. Last hockey game. Just going to keep it rolling. Keep this thing moving. Penguins and the Oilers. Look at this spot. These 2 teams out here. Early in the season, but we've still kind of got the same problem going on here with this Edmonton Oilers. They got Stuart Skinner. He's unconfirmed, but can't stop a beach ball right now. 1-3-1, 3.72. Now, some of these guys are going to start to figure it out, right? We need 10 games. We need 10 games to set a benchmark to start to figure out what direction these guys are really heading in. But look, 1-3-1 to start the season with a 3.72 goals against average ain't pretty. It ain't happening. 86.6% saving. The other side of things, Joel Blomqvist, 2-2 on the season, 3.16 goals against average. That number concerns me, but 90.8% saving. Why the hell not? Alex Nedeljkovic went 2 straight games out there, goes 0-1-1, and they're going back to Blomqvist. Now, I don't know if they're looking at it saying, fuck it, it's the Oilers. We're going to lose this game anyways. I don't know. They have the worst goaltending in the league, though. That is for sure. 35 goals allowed in 8 games. They're struggling out there. But, look, this kid's young. Four games he started. He's 22 years old. He started 4 games this season to roll up that 90.8. He's 2-2. If the Penguins could get their shit together and put some pucks in goal, this would be a big deal. And I think this is one of those spots. I'm not going to give you the no team should be priced at -300 angle or whatever the case may be in this spot. The Edmonton Oilers shouldn't be priced where they are. But think about the firepower that's on the ice for these 2 teams right now. You got a Stanley Cup finalist in the Edmonton Oilers. You got the Penguins with Crosby and Malkin. That should be a matinee feature. Now, they're old. We talked about them being old as dirt. But I think they come into this barn on Friday night ready to show the Oilers that they're not going to just get slapped around. Furthermore, they're on a losing streak. And so you're going in on Friday Night Lights, big game in Canada with the Stanley Cup finalist, and you're on a losing streak. Boast well for these teams, because if you're on a losing streak of 2 or more games and you're finding pucks hitting the goal, they're just not going in, and you're in the dog roll, 63-22 on the puck line, 46-39 straight up. Home favorites of -200 or more that are off a loss are just 6-5. Now, I contrast those two because if you're 6-5 and you're betting -200s or greater, you're down. You're down a lot. For every $100 you pick up, you're losing 200. So you lost 1,000, you pick up 600, you're down 400 if they're just at -200 with a 6-5 team. But on the flip side, 46-39, despite it only having a 7-game margin, does support an opportunity to get in there. That being said, the Oilers have been one of those tricky teams where kind of in every other situation. When they are home and they go off and under, the next game goes over. It's 30-23 to that. What's going on? What is going on? I see what is going on. See a bunch of big lights outside the window there. You got to look and say, what the hell is going on? It's too late. I see what happened. I see what happened there, but I lost my train of thought. Big fucking spotlight shining in. Like, whoa, what the hell's going on? Are they coming for me? Look, I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna take the Oilers or the Penguins at plus 190. I think these boys are ready to go. I think that losing streak record, the bounce back situation, when you're big price dog, this figures out to me where you've got this Oilers team that's struggling to score. They're struggling to stop people from scoring on them. They're 2-4. They're just 1-3 at home. Well, technically 1-3-1. And you got a team on a losing streak with a trend that says that they bounce back here. This is a big opportunity to take the plus 190. Shit. I'd almost consider even going the alternate run line at the minus 1.5. But Penguins at plus 190, I think is good money for us to get paid. So that's how we're going to rock. That's how we're going to roll. That's how we get through the NHL card. Stop Geo says, I'm grabbing that Edmonton over 6.5, or got it last night. I do think that's a good spot. I do think that over is a good spot. You know, the Oilers home on, we talked about the St. Louis Blues. When they're off a loss, they come back home. It's an under. The Oilers off and under goes over. Who's going to score the goals? Ideally, it's a 4-3 Penguins game. Ideally, it's a 5-3 Penguins game, and I don't have to sweat this thing out whatsoever. But I'm going to take some Penguins spot here. I think it's a good plus money shot for us. Big trend in our direction. So let's go. Let's move on. Let's keep a pace flowing here. Whoopsie. Whoops. There we go. Let's get into the NBA. Just going to move fast through these stuff to do as I had aforementioned, but we will talk splits. We will get into it here. The Sixers and the Raptors. Now, this is an interesting line. We saw the Sixers last game. We knew the no Embiid factor out there, and the world was on Giannis and the boys. And they got the win. The Sixers, what happened? They just stopped playing the second half? They didn't get out of the locker room in the second half? I don't know. But I know this line's moving against this Toronto Raptors here. They opened up at -4. They're now -5.5. 58% of the bets and 61% of the cash are on the Sixers. Everyone's pouring in on this over. 91% of the bets and 90% of the cash are on the over. It has not moved. Well, there's some books out there that are moved a point, but the majority of the books haven't moved all day long off this 219.5. So if you're out thinking overs, do some shopping. But I'll tell you this. Maybe the worst team in the NBA at home as a dog are the Toronto Raptors. They're 0-12 in those spots at home as a dog. It's not just 0-12. It's how they're getting destroyed. They're getting absolutely busted up. They're losing those games by 22 points on average. 22 points. 21.8 to be exact. Ugly ball. Now we got a 2-0 goal for the Senators. 2-0 up Senators over the Golden Knights. And because of that situation with the way these Toronto Raptors have been playing at home in the dog role, I'm going to attack the Sixers side. I'm also going to share with you the way that I would strategically go about this one here. If you're looking to live bet it, there will be a halftime bet for me in this game, and it will be the second half under. Because I know the Sixers just don't show up in that second. We saw that last game. And there's still going to be, another 2 games without Embiid, maybe 3, depending on the situation. I know the league is investigating some of their shady antics when it came to their injury report. But man, the NBA has been good to us. I think we can break this one down and take this first half at -2.5. Just take the first half. They should show up for this game. And we're going to fade on that 12-0 trend of losing for the Raptors at home as dogs. But I expect the gas to run out for these boys. There's only so much depth on the bench without their key players. That second half under makes a ton of sense. I like that play more than I like this play. I just can't come in here and tell you guys to take a second half under until I see what the score is in the first half. So keep your eyes on it because I do think it's a live opportunity for us to play that second half under. But I'm going to take the first half Sixers. I got them at -2.5. Let me see if that's still the best number out there for us. Where'd you go? There you are. First half, 2.5s. Oh, even better. Even better. FanDuel's hanging at 3.5 out there. So the best number is not available at FanDuel. We love seeing that. The second half spread, the total looks like it's around 108.5 right now. So write that down. Write that down. Keep our eyes on it. So if you guys are looking to live bet this at home at halftime, just see what kind of number you're getting against 108.5 as a frame of reference out there. But that's how we're going to kick off the NBA card for us here. Just a simple fade on a team that sucks at home as a dog. They're a dog for a reason. And I think the Sixers should at least start out somewhat hot. Whether they stay hot or they melt at the end and they, do I think Toronto's a live dog? Not really. Not really in this spot, but I don't think they're going to be able to match the firepower that is what's going on with, who's the guy? Scotty Barnes? He was in a clutch role the other day at 21.5 points. He put up an 8 spot. Stinker. Not good enough. Not going to get it done. Not for my card. What's up, Hugh Janus? Says Pimp Dodgers. Let's get it. That video says, anyone navigating the minefield is the NBA injury report. Be careful. Some major names iffy tonight. Giannis, Curry. Well, let's talk about that game. Let's talk about the Giannis game in question here. I struggle with the injury report because I've said this before. It's baked into the number. So it's not like you're going to see sometimes you'll see a real big swing, but not for the most. I don't know. I guess 6 in one, a half a dozen in the other. I look at this line though, and I see 9.5s. They really haven't moved. And the action's pretty split. 52% of the bets and 55% of the cash are on the 9. For the Bucks, that is. They're laying the points. You see a total climbing. 230.5 has moved to 234.5. 72% of the bets and 71% of the cash are on the over. It's climbing. Let me look at this injury report here. Hard to find a good, concise report. I see Giannis as probable. And I see Brook Lopez as probable. So usually at this point of the day, probable means they're going to go. Questionable or doubtful means they're probably not going to go, right? But we know Chris Middleton is out. We know Lonzo Ball is out on the other side of things here. Believe we're in a circumstance where this is too many points. Now, some big trends that I discovered in doing a little bit of NBA research as we get this thing rolling here is, boy, the teams on the first half of back-to-back spots with no rest, they tend to fire. They're out there kicking ass and taking names. If it's early in the season, your opponent just won, you lost, and you're a dog with no rest. First game of a back-to-back. Buy low, sell high. Opponent just won. You just lost. They're taking the steam out of the number on your side. You're getting as many points as you can, ultimately, is how I look at that. First legs of a back-to-back with no rest, 95 and 48. Teams play better the first half of the back-to-back than they do the second half with no rest. That is the Bulls in the spot. Then you look at this matchup between these two teams. Chicago plays these guys tough. 2 of their last 3 meetings end up going to overtime as well. 95 and 48 trend with 9.5 points in my back pocket. And if Giannis doesn't get in there, it's even better. Even better. I'll take a 9.5 from me. I'll take this Bulls team. First leg of the back-to-back. Keep that one in mind. Team just lost. Team they're playing won. They're in a dog spot on the first leg of a back-to-back. Fire on those teams. They are winning at over a 2-1 margin. I don't expect them to win on the money line, but 345 would be nice. If I was going to money line blind dart something here, I would take the Bulls on the money line. I would add them to the Hornets on the money line. I think the Hawks are shit team at plus 185, and shit, I might even consider putting the Toronto Raptors money line in that thing if I was looking at that spot. But for me, for the NBA, for keeping it clear, concise with the plays that we're trying to attack the board with here tonight, I got the Bulls. I got them at plus 9.5. Again, You just lost. Team you're playing just won. You're in the dog roll. First leg of a back-to-back. 95 and 48. 95 and 48 in those spots out there. We're going to run with it. We're going to take this Bulls at 9.5, and we're going to move on. The last NBA game we've got for the card here. Keep her moving. Memphis Grizzlies, Houston Rockets, both teams coming in 0-1 to start their seasons off out there. Houston Rockets opened up as a -1.5. It's now moved to 3.5. Now seeing 4s, which is interesting because 84% of the bets and 81% of the cash are on the Grizz. Expecting Ja Morant and company to bounce back. Not us. We got this side of things with the totals moved up 9 points. So that's an interesting move because you got the money's moving towards the favorite. I'm sorry, the line is moving towards the favorite, but the cash is pouring in on the over. Very tricky situation. I tend to see those spots. I tend to think the unders are more correlated to the favorite. But in this game, I guess I kind of get it. You look at this Memphis team, and yeah, I'm sorry, they're 1-0. What did I say? 0-1 to start the season. Did I typo that? No, they're 1-0. We covered that spread by the hook against that Utah Jazz team the other night. We had that Jazz in the over in that spot out there. And yeah, we took a little break in our favor to catch the hook. This Houston Rockets, this might be the best play on the entire card tonight. In terms of all trends, all angles, everything was lining up. The second game of the season, if you lost as a favorite your last game, and you're a favorite in this spot out there, 39 and 25. Lost as a favorite, they still made you a favorite. It's the second game of the season, 39 and 25. It's a bounce back spot to start the season, and they're home. Then you add to it the opponent shooting less than 55% effectiveness. That spot moves to 31 and 12. And if both of you guys are on the second game of the NBA season, I don't know why the second game is such a bounce back opportunity, but 34 and 13. So good opportunity to jump in on this Houston Rockets side of things here. I do think they bounce back. I think all these trends say they're going to bounce back. We've got reverse line movement, which is another correlated box that we want to check in this spot. Then as far as the injury report is concerned, looking down the line, I still think that there's a little bit of I don't want to say mash unit, but they're not quite mash unit capable here. But Steven Adams is still questionable for this game. Dylan Brooks and Cam Whitmore are both probable for this game. Probably means they're going to play on the Rocket side of things. They could really use Steven Adams. And that might be why this line is moving in reverse direction, because he's been upgraded to questionable. But either way, it's good enough for me. We've been firing with these trends in the NBA, and we're going to fire again here. 3 was the number that I got. Let's see what the number is out there currently. The aforementioned 3 is not here. 3.5s across the board. Now seeing a 4. Now seeing a 4 over there at DraftKings as well. I'd still take the 3.5. Why not? The margin's enough in this thing here where it's almost an 8-point margin. So they're borderline covering the spread by double digits in game 2 in a bounce back spot, which makes sense. You said it earlier. We got like some terrific buy low spots across the card today that I thought they really doozied us up for here. So that's it. That's all we got for the NBA. Just a little 3-pack for you guys here. Big card, Sports Equinox in play. Let's keep her going. We got some bounce back opportunities galore today. I almost feel like that's the theme. Every card seems to have a theme or something that seems to kind of gravitate towards and find in college football. Fun little card tonight. Little 3-packer out there. I don't know about Rutgers and USC. I'm not going to jump in on that game. It feels like it's too many points to lay for USC, but I've seen Rutgers just roll over and play fucking dead. So I'm not trying to get involved in that. But late buying action alert. Boston College is catching some late buying. Boston College went from 6.5 all the way up to 8s. You had 53% of the bets on Louisville, 48% of the cash on Louisville. Now we're seeing this line dropping down to 7s. 51.5 is where the total opened up. It's moved to 54.5. 79% of the bets and 70% of the cash are on the over. So you have a correlated movement there, if you will. And you got 2 teams that are coming in at this thing 4 and 3. Boston College, has made some surprises. They shat the bed last week in Blacksburg, Virginia Tech. We were all fired up for that one. Little Enter Sandman action. It turned out to be too much for Boston College. They take a beating, 42-21. The score wasn't even, well, so look, the way that game worked out, if you remember, is they got busted up in the first half. We took a live bet. We got 32.5 live. They came all the way back to within 6 points in that third quarter. They made coaching adjustments at halftime, and it worked out for the third quarter. Now the final score, 42-21. We lost the bet at 8.5, but we cashed the live bet at 32.5. Louisville, on the other side, they beat Virginia. They just had a grueling battle. This is a sleepy spot, I think, for this Louisville team here. 52-45 against Miami. They blew their load. And you got Boston College with a couple extra days of rest on Louisville. Bad situation for this Louisville team. Furthermore, if you look at some of the things that are going on with Louisville, opponents on deck is a big factor. Is it going to be a look-ahead spot? I'm not entirely sure, but I believe it was Clemson. I can't find my notes here. I think it was Clemson that they had on deck next. And look, the rebound factor is true. Revenge spots, teams off a loss. First 10 weeks of the season are 79-42 in those spots. The revenge spot, meaning you lost to this team the last time you played them. And you're off a loss. It's like double undervaluing a spot. And we got it the first 10 weeks of the season, 79-42. I think there's just a lot of gas being used out there by this Cardinals team against Miami last week. To fall short's got to be a heartbreaker. They're not really going anywhere in the ACC. They're kind of middle of the pack. But as I mentioned, it was Clemson that we have Louisville with on deck. So you just took a bad loss to Miami that you maybe thought you were going to win. You got a Clemson coming up on deck, and you got this Boston College team sandwiched in the middle here. And you got to go to Boston College? This place should start out loud. It should be pumping. It's going to be chilly. It's one of those spots where I just love an opportunity for the team in a bounce back, a revenge angle bounce back on top of that for us. I thought about the total. I thought about seeing points flying out of this thing here, but the thing that concerns me is Louisville's run defense is not great. Now, Boston College's run offense, not really spectacular either. Where I think the difference is for this game and why, you're coming in as a dog or your home dog, right? We know the dogs on Fridays in college football have been cashing at a high rate. We talked about that last Friday. On top of all of that stuff, you've got a team in Boston College that does have an offensive game. They can throw the ball. That's what we saw in that third quarter when they stopped fucking around trying to play chess with that, Virginia Tech team in the first half. They were able to go be explosive. They do rank high in explosive passing. They rank 7th in the nation. Crazy. Boston College, I think they hang in this game. They're playing defensive run-stopping football to some degree. They can go out there. I think they can contend. Full game, though. Full game for me in the bounce-back spot. Bad sandwich spot for Louisville. Revenge spot off a loss first 10 weeks of the season. 79-42 against the spread. Covered by almost a full touchdown. So if you do the math, you're covered by almost a full touchdown. And you're getting a touchdown. Maybe that's a lot dog situation. Wouldn't that make sense? A team that can pass, a big fourth quarter coming up for Boston College in a tie game. They make a big stop on, let's say that Louisville fucks around, tries to run the clock in the fourth quarter. They start running the ball and they run into that run defense that Boston College can do. They have to punt the ball. It's a minute and a half with an explosive drive from Castellanos to go down the field and lead Boston College to a straight outright victory. That would be a fun game to check out. I think that's where we see a little bit of action in that thing. So that's how we're going to get paid in this Boston College thing. Shout out to Cameron Sinnett in the house. My guy says Pimp Slap Army. They don't sleep tonight. Assignment team, Washington, first floor. On that heat, like Sengun, double spot. Irish King says crazy Vegas game. What's going on in that game now? Do I not want to know? Holy shit, 3-2. Holy shit. That was a dead over spot, too. Dead nuts over. All signs were pointing to that thing being an over. Let's go. How about that? Oldie says, anyone on the Magic I'll give you guys a couple leans that I had in the NBA. I talked about the first, for that Chicago Bull spot, the first half of a back-to-back. For what it's worth, the prevailing strategy in the NBA in the first half of a back-to-back spot with no rest is unders. It's like, let me see if I can find it. It was like 1,188 unders to like 800 overs or something like that. It was almost a 400 margin or 400 win margin to the under if you're on that first leg of a back-to-back spot. So just keep that in mind. First legs of back-to-backs tend to go under. There's 4 of them that are in play here. I did parlay those together tonight, so it was a little 12-1 action. But 4 of those spots did fall into play. First half of a back-to-back with no rest tends to be an under game. So for what that's worth, keep that in mind as you look at the NBA. I like that Warriors-Jazz game to go under. Should have played that Timberwolves. I gave you guys those intersecting zero trends last night. By the way, for what it's worth, speaking of the Timberwolves, Toronto loses this game today. They got the Timberwolves on deck next. That's a fire spot on Toronto. Timberwolves are in a terrible, it's like a 1-17 fade spot. So some other things to keep in mind as I think about what I saw on the dashboard today. I like the Hornets. I mentioned the Hornets against the Hawks. I think the Hawks are dog shit. I don't think much of that Pacers-Knicks game at all. I don't think much of that at all. Pelicans and Blazers. If there's no Zion, I'd jump on the Pelicans. If he is playing, I would take the Blazers. I know. Crazy, isn't it? Crazy how that works out. That's what people were missing all along in the NBA. They were waiting for these injury reports. No! When the player's out, you play on that team. That's the way the NBA works. It's worked that way for a couple of years now as well. Here we go. Ramon's dropping some action in there for us. So, I don't know what that is. Oh, little high school ball. Top 2 high school teams in the country. Damn. Well, that'll be fun to keep an eye on. That'll be a fun one to check out. They got a line for it? They got a fucking line for it. That's awesome, Ramon. All right, let's go. What do we got left here? UNLV, Boise State. This should be a fun game. Here's a little Mountain West rematch. Boise State has dominated UNLV. They own the series 6-0. They won that championship game last year. What was the final? 44-20 was the big Mountain West championship that we saw these boys pick up with Boise State. Revenge spot? Anybody? Have I said that enough tonight? How about this, though? So the underlying strategy, yeah, revenge for sure, right? You're pissed you just lost the Mountain West championship to this team last year. Has been a little bit of a rebuilding, though. New coach comes in for UNLV last year. Gets that team rolling, gets them all the way to the Mountain West championship. They lose. This year, their only loss to that Syracuse team. Barry Odom has found 15 wins in 21 games on the season. It's crazy. Biggest winning streak that this school has had since 1984. Point is, things are on the uptick for UNLV. I'll get to the splits here in just a second because I jumped into this. On the flip side, Boise State's only loss, Oregon. Boise State fully loaded. Heisman potential in Ashton Janti. It's 1,250 rushing yards. I mean, you hit the guy, he just gets angry. He's like a Derrick Henry in the way he runs. 1,248 overall rushing yards, 914 after first contact. He's got 17 rushing touchdowns. Crazy numbers in this thing here. And, Maddox Madsen is the guy to keep an eye on because he's leading the Mountain West in passing efficiency. This team can do all things. They can fire on both cylinders, or all cylinders, I guess I should say. But you got a team pissed off, looking to rebound after last year's Mountain West championship loss. Big numbers here. Important to notate. Janti, hope I'm saying it right, Heisman Trophy potential. Killing the nation in rushing yards. Running all over everybody. UNLV likes games where their opponents are supposed to rush. When UNLV plays a team that rushes for more than 250 yards on the season on average, they're 21-8. When the team's supposed to run, UNLV steps up and finds a way to counter that production and cover spreads. UNLV at home, when they've got a total where they're expecting points, are 8-3. So think about it. They play well against a team that's supposed to run, and they play well in games that score high. It's 8-4 to the over in those home spots when the total's over 55. Their margin of victory is 6 points. Does that mean we have a live dog? I'm not sure. I know that what happened the last time these two teams played that Mountain West Championship, dude, they had, 48 points in the first quarter of that game? 48 points in the first quarter, which is ridiculous for teams that should be running the ball. And I think we've got a program in UNLV, despite the controversy with the quarterback, there's a little miscalculation in this line. It feels like it's a little bit too high for me, but I'll tell you this. I want the first half. If you're coaching the program, you're moving in the direction, you're at home, kids are hyped up, you're in that revenge bounce back spot. It's a game that should see scoring and you battle well all the way to the end. At 2.5 points, I like them to start this thing strong. I don't know if, and I've talked about this all week. I feel like I've had this running kind of process going, right? These teams break down when they're playing against a run heavy team. Those offensive linemen, it just gets tiring. You're on the field too long. Again, your hands are on your hips. You're taking in deep breaths. And the score starts to widen as things go on. And that's where I could potentially see that UNLV loses by a touchdown. But it wouldn't surprise me to see them up at halftime by 3 points. Wouldn't surprise me to see them tied at halftime. You know, we talked about that live last night in that Rams game. Took that first half plus 1.5. Expected to see the offense prevail in that second half. They made those coaching adjustments and got it done. This one's a little different for me. I do think that, still on paper, Boise State's the better team with the better tools. I just think that you catch UNLV motivated, fired up to start this thing at home on Friday night in a bounce back revenge spot. Maybe they tire down the second half of this game and they still don't have all the right tools in place, but we'll start this thing off early. We'll take UNLV in the first half. I like the first half over. I was almost on the first half over. Ramon Scott says Boise taking steam for sure right now. Yeah, Big Boys is right. Nathan Cernus is sweating out this Golden Knights game. Young native Tino likes a little Soto home run action out there. Won't Rutgers be tired in second half? It would feel like 2 a.m. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Travel spot for them on the West Coast. I could see that thing scoring over. They spent so much time and effort trying to, we saw last year they were an over team, and we see that time and again with the coaching staff and the program, but it feels like that USC has tried to put a little ground and pound action out there to stop that damn thing from getting turned over like that. So that was a tricky one. No action. I had a big enough card tonight myself, but I will cheer you guys on for that. Nathan Cernus says, I can only see Broncos up 17-10 at halftime. We will see. Kirk Gray is asking if Ramon likes Boise. We'll see. I'm going to take him to start the game. I may get him full game as well with the points. We'll see what the number does as it percolates through the evening. All right, last game on the card. We'll get everybody up out of here to get their Friday nights going. It's the World Series. Of course, we're going to have some action in the World Series. Why the hell not? Big, long delay for these two teams. I hate when they do that. Just run it back. Change the schedule. Get your shit together. Although I know TV contracts and all that other stuff here. Why not have this World Series bust out on Friday night? LA is going to be packed. I read something today that said that they're expecting traffic to be such a clusterfuck that the Metro is telling people to get off 1.5 miles away from the stadium. It'll be faster for them to walk 1.5 miles to the stadium than it would be to make any other mode of transportation getting off right at the stadium. It's going to be packed. It's going to get loud. It's going to be crazy. It's all the things you want in the World Series. What a fun battle. You got Mookie Betts. Obviously, Edmund comes out there, surprises everybody to be the NLCS MVP out there. He deserved it too. What do you have? Three or four RBIs in that last game. He went yardstick when it mattered for those Dodgers to get on there and move forward. The other side of things, we saw bats slumping early in the playoffs from the mix. Giancarlo Stanton, nowhere to be found. Aaron Judge was on the back of a milk carton for 2.5 weeks. Juan Soto, firing around out there, was pretty much the only constant. Now we've got a line that opened up at plus 112. Road dogs are them Yanks, now down to plus 108. So we got reverse line movement. 71% of the bets are on the Dodgers, and 67% of the cash are on the Dodgers. This line's dropped 17 cents. I think so. I think that's right. I did that. Yeah, 17 cents. I did that math fast. Wow. Can't believe I was. Sometimes you spit a number out and it's so fast, you're like, that can't be right. 17 cents of movement away from the Dodgers, despite them having all that money pouring in on the Dodgers. Total's moving up. 79% of the bets on the over, 70% of the cash on the over. And I get it. It's Flaherty with a 7.04 ERA and Garrett Cole. Man that we have been talking about for regressing since the All-Star break. Somehow here he still is. 3.31 ERA for this guy. At first pass, as I looked at these two games here, as I looked at these teams, I was a little nervous about the lack of experience that this Yankees team has against Flaherty. Not just experience, but even success. The only guy that's really got any kind of numbers that are worth a sample to discuss are Anthony Rizzo. 21 at-bats, 9 hits, 3 home runs, and 6 RBIs for a 4.29 against Flaherty. Torres, leadoff position, 3 at-bats, 1 hit. Juan Soto, 9 at-bats, only 1 hit for an RBI at .111. Judge and Stanton have never seen him. It's crazy. Hard to imagine that there's a guy in the process that falls under that criteria. But, you know the deal. We try to find a guy that maybe is in the he's due process. Lefty righties, is he leading the team? He's number 2 behind Aaron Judge. Home and away, 292. Again, number 2 behind Aaron Judge is Juan Soto. The lefty-righty matchup, Flaherty, he can be gotten on either side of things. You could argue that he's a little bit stronger against righties than he is against lefties, but it's marginal. Garrett Cole on the other side of things here should be a pitching battle. I know everyone likes the overs. We saw the overs crush this thing through the NLCS and the ALCS, right? All but one game, I think, went over for the Yankees, and every single game went over for the Dodgers. We're going to have ourselves a battle. I'll tell you this. We'll keep it short. The Yankees are 8-0. 8-0 as road dogs when the total's over a 7. I think don't tell my boy. Don't tell my boy. I think the Dodgers win this World Series. That's my early look. But I'm going to ride the plus money game on this thing because I think Yankees at plus 110 is a great price. This game's a coin flip. Neither one of these pitchers really has a stand-up battle. The Dodgers on a Friday night at home with what should be a fucking zoo. Okay, but is that enough? No, because man, we saw these bats took off. Now, on the other side of things, if you're looking at, player potential, the numbers have been crushed on this what do you call it? On this Dodger side of things here. Ohtani's RBI is now like minus 110. Mookie Betts is sitting around even money. And those are the only 2 guys I probably would fuck with at that perspective. I mean, Freddie Freeman's not a bad option out there either, but the thing is you don't want to be a lefty against Garrett Cole. He's 40 points better against lefties than he is against righties. Freeman, Muncy, and Luke's 4 of your 9 bats are lefties with Edman in the bottom of the rotation. Give that fucking guy a break. All he's done is go out there and succeed. But he's only got a 181 when he goes out there against righties as a switch hitter. So I thought the hitting matchup, despite the just views, I guess, against Flaherty, just seemed to me Yankees roll in a dog spot out there. We're going to take these Yankees at plus 110. We got that RBI. We'll take a little Soto at plus 175 as well. Might have something fun to root for in that process. So that's going to do it. That's how we're going to get paid. It's a big card. We got through it in the hour. Lots of plays out there for you guys. Lots of my action here tonight. And it'll either be a real fun morning, success in talking about these W's, or it'll be a real shitty morning. I'm going to be trying to figure out how I bounce back because that was the theme of the card. We got the Islanders under 6.5, the Predators under 6, the Penguins at plus 190, the Sixers first half minus 2.5, the Bulls plus 9.5, the Rockets minus 3, Boston College plus 8, UNLV first half plus 2.5. I'll probably end up taking them full game as well. Yankees plus 110, and Soto for the RBI of the day here. Little action for you guys across this sports equinox, you guys. Fanatical Jim coming in. LFA action, says Montero plus 190. Bare Knuckle fighting. Sparks and Sidney Smith, our guy known for flame throwing these bookies, is giving you guys some great plus dog spots to get after it. Let's see. Smoke and Mirror says, sitting outside on the screen porch watching the pimp in a short sleeve shirt, almost November. That's what I'm talking about. Fuck, dude. I almost had the hood up. Tonight. Shout out to David Wallace. Says, I'm going with the Dodgers. Let's go. Forbidden Eighth. There's a name I have not seen in a minute. Says, the entire Capper universe and sports shows on ESPN MLB Network are on the Yankees. Oh, no. I don't spend a lot of time with those shows, but it's good to know. It's good to know. We'll see. Hugh Janus says, every time Dodgers score, just have Hugh Janus in your head. Shout out to Trisha M with the $4.99 dono. She's gifting our action. She says Dodgers smash. I won't be changing my action, Hugh Janus. But knowing that you and Trisha are on him, if I got to lose to somebody, well, let it be you folks. Because you guys are sharp as a button here. But shout out to Trisha M. Gifting $4.99 on the dono. Steve says Stanton is in God mode. Got to sprinkle his props out there. You could probably take everybody to get a hit tonight. Let's be honest. You do same game parlay with everybody to get a hit. Probably the only guy that doesn't get it is Edmund. That would make sense. That would be my luck. Dale fixes, and they have USC and a Lakers game. Man, place to beat tonight. Flea Mathis. First half, Boise, UNLV, over 31. I'm there. I'm on that play. I just for best bets that I want to give you guys, that I like that one. I like the second half more over in that game. Again, because I expect that line to get run down and then they run through them and have some explosive, huge plays out there. But we will see, you guys. That's going to do it for us here tonight. We got a lot of fun this week. We got a lot of things coming up. That's the funniest comment I've seen in a minute. I saw something going on. Oh man, some people just make bad decisions, and you know, at some point you're just on the process of making bad decisions, and you've got a track record of making bad decisions, and that gal, as my friend Smoke likes to say, or Sub likes to say, might be falling under that criteria. I don't know enough about it to comment on it, so. Interesting spots, though. Ray Otachi, thank you, Ray. Shout out to Old E. David Wallace. Burns B says soccer bonus. I need a parlay for my $25 bonus bet from MGM. We're in the right place. See if you guys can whip together something for our guy. I'll tell you what. I actually do have a soccer play for you here. It was square. I took Inter Miami. I've got Messi to get a goal, and I've got who are they playing? Atlanta team total over 1.5. Square. I expect there to be goals. I think it's going to be led predominantly by Messi, and Inter Miami is a big favorite, so they should probably comfortably go out there and handle business. Burnsby, how about that? Fired that one off. I forgot I had one of those plays. Just had to say soccer. I got something for you out there. Jay Peasy says, I taught you nothing, pimp. What happens when the Dodgers get cheaper? I know. I thought about it. But I got to get into it. Smoke and Mirror says, where Jim getting that LFA and bare knuckle fight club? Got to shop those. I know like DraftKings and FanDuel don't have them for me. My local does. BetOnline does. Plenty of places to go out there and get them. We got to get BetOnline to get in here and be a fucking sponsor. You know, the problem I have is their sponsor arrangements mean that you guys have to lose, and I don't play ball like that. I want to win. I don't care. Bookie be damned. Peter Gracia, Trisha M, Hugh Janus, Forbidden Eighth, my guy Fanatical Jim. Appreciate all you guys rocking with us tonight, man. Let's have some fun. Let's make some money. Shout out to Big O in the house out there. The Chihuahua Dog of the Week. Las Vegas Raiders. I like the name. I gotta get used to reading it. JPZ thought I was half right. Young Native. That might be one of my favorite names. Dookie Betts. Brandon the Great likes Kiki RBI and Rizzo RBI. May have to sprinkle something on my twin Soto. Our birthday today. Is it Juan Soto's birthday today? If I'd have known that, I wouldn't even have waited so long to tell you guys I was rocking and rolling with that. Shout out to everybody rocking. Dale Fick, Nathan Cerna. Let's go, you guys. Bo Jackson likes the Dodgers and the Lakers on the money line. Coins got Edmund over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Kirk Gray. Appreciate all you guys hanging out with us tonight, man. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button on the way out the door. Enjoy the outro we've got for you guys here. We're trying to get in the holiday spirit. Top motherfucker in here. Got a 4-leg parlay for you guys. Dodgers, Sixers, Pelicans, and USC. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us, man. Again, remember, Ramon Scott, Morning Steam. And then the UFC crew is ready to attack this morning card. Pancakes and violence. That's what sports money's. I don't know if I should say that's what we're all about. Shout out to Old E, gifting 5 memberships. Redbeard gifted a membership. And, of course, Trisha M coming through with the dono. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. Good luck with your bets. On behalf of the Sports Money Network, TGIF, have a great night. We'll see you guys.